That what is going on in Gaza, what is happening here in the United States is linked, and these students who have done so much study and who have done so much organizing are clear about the connections between U.S. racism and international imperialism, and they are so clear about their role and purpose in this movement. So many of them have now been politicized, and this will not stop just because of tonight.
So, Shant, if you could explain, you were one of 4 journalists who was attacked. Tell us what happened.
Walking back at protests where a group of pro-Israel counter-protesters had stormed and seized upon the encampment campus at Dixon Plaza and Powell Library. And me and 3 other journalists.
If you could speak as loud as you possibly can, we're hearing it, and come closer, yes, to your computer. And also, you're describing what happened. Tell us what night, about what time it was, you with your 4 Daily Bruin, the 3 other Daily Bruin reporters.
Yeah, it was about, I want to say 2 or 3 a.m. It was really late. We had all spent hours being out there on the field, reporting, sending messages to our editors, really scared about the scenes that we were seeing on campus towards the protesters in the encampment, the level of violence and vitriol that was in the air. We had documented reporters hearing things like racial epithets. I personally witnessed a counter-protester slam a wooden slab onto an individual who had her hands on the barricade of the encampment, and smashing her fingers and listening to her scream and watching how that changed the environment. And many more harrowing scenes have been discussed by students on this campus.
Who were these people?
Yeah, we have been trying our best to be accurate about that. And I think in a Los Angeles Times article, my colleague talks about being attacked by one of these pro-Israel counter-protesters and how they have known who we are on campus. And they know that we report on these issues, and sometimes they know our faces. And when we're leaving and we're vulnerable and we're in a small group, we were encircled and attacked, and they started shining lights in our face, spraying us with very strong irritants, circling in particular one of my colleagues and physically harassing and assaulting her. And by the time I finally managed to help get 3 of us out of there, we found one of us had turned back, and by the time we had looked back around, they were on the ground being violently assaulted, and we were trying our best as we ran back screaming their name to pull them out of that fight, pull them out of the ground, pull people off of them, and we were begging while they were flashing.
This was Catherine Hamilton, who was hospitalized?
Yes, she was.
How are they beating her?
It was a very, very quick scene. I know she got hurt in the stomach, and I know that additionally we had had so much tear gas in our eyes already from the protests that by the end of it, it was just hard to walk back. It was hard to make it back.
And Shant, could you explain? I know that you said people are being careful about trying to talk about who the counter-protesters are, but could you tell us what you know? Were most of them not students? Were they students? If you could explain what you know.
Yeah, we do see students on, rallies supporting pro-Israel groups. We have a pro-Israel group, the Jewish, for Jewish faculty, and they themselves have actually distanced themselves from this behavior. But we do see a lot of non-UCLA students coming onto campus and sparking a lot of these controversies that end up going viral online, on social media, and that do require deep, thorough reporting that goes beyond the kind of outrage bait that unfortunately fuels a lot of the conversations.
Where were the police? Where was security as this attack went on?
They were nowhere to be found. We actually walked up to a few campus security afterwards asking for help, as one of my peers was crying and having a breakdown, and I was trying to help the other 2 as well. And they were not able to help us with anything. They didn't know what to do. And in fact, we had documented that campus security, when faced with threats, these are private security guards handled by the campus before the actual police had even come on campus. They would run away when they, or hide in buildings and deny reporters access to those buildings when they were afraid of what they saw on the scene and on the site. I got too violent.